Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Well, let's have another conversation about Kanye West. And I have a question. Are we on code when it comes to Brother Ye? Or a matter of fact, should we be on code? You know, I'm looking at his story over the past month and seeing what he's going through, what he's putting himself through, what the people are putting him through. And two names come to mind automatically. O.J. Simpson and Jussie Smollett. Now, it's not like, I'm not saying that they, are similar in the things that they did, because, OJ, y'all remember Bronco Chase, his ex-wife and his ex-wife's boyfriend was deleted years ago. The media, the other persuasions, they all felt that he did it. But then when you look in the stories, there are like, we know that Nicole Simpson or Nicole Brown, whatever her name was, she had kind of a shady past of dealing with folk, dealing with mafia people. She was a drug user, drug addict, whatever the case may be. OJ wasn't too happy about that, so on and so on. So nobody really knows who did, in the court of law. Police probably could have found it. He probably could have been found guilty if it wasn't for the police, planting evidence. But you remember, OJ, Hall of Fame, great running back in the college and the pros. He did an interview years ago where he said, "I'm not black, I'm OJ." I mean, you remember that? But actually, Kanye said the same thing. I'm not black, I'm Kanye. So I guess you can say that they're a little similar on that one, and from that standpoint. But OJ got a little fame, got a little fortune out there in California, dealing with the mother folk. He, they forgot about the hood of the projects he came from, and, went to the other side. I think his first wife was black, but after that, he dealt with nothing but white women. I mean, but that's his preference, that's fine. That's what you want, that's what you want. But when them folk tried to accuse him and convict him of murder, he turned black real quick. Got Johnny Cochran. Was quick to hold up the black fist. Things of that nature. And with OJ, we actually was rooting for him. We actually was cheering him, not because we wanted him to get away with deleting of a white lady. It was more of, this was payback for what the system has done to us, putting so many of us in prison for crimes we didn't commit, or giving us these crazy sentences for minor offenses when other people, other persuasions wasn't getting those same kind of sentences, things of that nature. So we're like, shoot, if he can get off on this, and he got Johnny Cochran, man, we're gonna celebrate, till the skies fall. And that's what we did. But we spoke publicly about this. During the trial, before the trial, during the trial, after the trial, no matter where you went, it was divided by race, but people spoke publicly about the O.J. Simpson trial. Once he was found not guilty, O.J. went back to the white women. But again, that's what he wanted to do. Hey, it is what it is. And then you got Jussie Smollett, or whatever his name is. A few years ago, was it 2019, arrested for faking like he got jumped by some white MAGA people, Trump supporters. And we all knew that the story didn't make sense, but a lot of us stayed quiet while it was going on, right? We was like, we're just gonna let this slide, maybe it'll go away. And then, once they said they couldn't find no evidence, we're like, okay, maybe it'll go away and we can all forget about this, and maybe, he'll learn his lesson, the gay Tupac, But then they prosecuted, and it was like, damn. All right. Well, you know, we'll try to sweep it on the rug. We still ain't gonna talk too much about it. But then this brother just kept claiming his innocence. And that's when I feel the majority of us is really like, instead of just only turning our back, we walked away from it. Because we like, this dude, something's wrong with this dude. He don't want our help. Because he keep perpetuating his lie. And you know, with him, we saw, you know, video footage of his boys, you know, come to find out that, you know, it wasn't white people, it was some, was it Nigerians or some kind of Kenyans or whatever, that they was his personal trainers, and they did this whole act, and then next thing you know, they said that they even had a relationship and all this kind of stuff. And we like, man, dude, you should just shut up in the beginning. But we tried to stay on code with Jussie. But Jussie wouldn't let us do it. So we had to still, we didn't want to sit on the bottom until they kept on telling this lie. Then we're like, dude, stop lying. You know, just shut up. They had to say it publicly, and now his feelings are hurt. You know, he gets sentenced, found guilty. You know, saying he's been a martyr. Again, gay Tupac, saying that if anything happened to him in prison, he ain't do it. He ain't trying, you know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to hurt himself. But that's because he knew, just like everybody else knew, there was something political behind what he was doing with the Democrats and the LMNOP people. You know, but like I say, he was just, I don't want to say a martyr, he was a scapegoat. The plan didn't work. They turned their back on him. So now his feelings are hurt. But again, we're like, dude, if you would have just not said nothing, if you did like OJ, just hush and went away, we wouldn't have said anything else about it. But we tried to stay on code with him. Now we fast forward to Kanye. And these people are on Kanye. You know, they trying to bury this guy. The powers that be, the ones who claim that they are victims. It's amazing how people who are in power or in control can still holler victim. To me, that's a dangerous person. It's kind of like when you see these women of, it could be our people too. A lot of times women of other persuasions holler about, you know, let's just say Karen. It's kind of like a Karen type persona for a group of people who really do control everything, but don't want you to say they control everything. And when you do, they holler like you abusing them. But the thing about when they holler, just like a lot of the Karens have been able to do, they can get you convicted. They can get you suspended. They can get everything taken from you just by you saying something that, again, not saying nothing bad, you know, just kind of stating your opinion or say something that you know, questioning or stating something, and then they're like, oh no, that's anti-Semitism. We can't, no, we gotta shut you down. Like, hey, like really? How does that work? I said, man, I see why Kanye say he jealous of him, because them son guns can just by snap of the finger take everything. But Kanye was right now with Kanye, he has the Black American community divided, truth be told. Because when you look on the side that don't like him, don't want to deal with him, they're the ones who look at him opening up a school in Simi Valley. And the school was kind of, you know, I wonder about the school, because that dude, how's an academy closed with your mama name on it, and then a day later, or a few days later, open back up and say, we open it up, we're going to cut ties with you, but you was a founder, and we cut ties with you, we're going to keep the name of the school. I'm like, how does that work? Ain't this like your school? But I would think that maybe Kanye was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, look, go ahead, because it's, you know, it's for the kids. I mean, a lot of people try to say Kanye's, you know, yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. God, no. A lot of people say yeah, he's like narcissistic, but you know, even a narcissistic dude, if he ain't, I mean, you gotta look out for the kids. You feel me? You gotta be like, hey, this is for the kids. Keep the school open. You know what I'm saying? I'll separate myself from you. Keep my mama name on it because she ain't did nothing to you. Him, allowing the school to, stay open and to, keep it open for the kids. They were talking about opening it back in September 2023, and it's like, nah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to Umar Johnson these people. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. These kids have them waiting, and then something, just let them go ahead and do it. So, like I said, I get it, so I understand that. But I mean, you see, Adidas said they was going to take his name off the shoes and still sell the mold. Nobody want the ugly ass shoes. You know what I'm saying? They only did it because Kanye's name was on it. That's it. So Adidas gonna lose about. You say he had Kanye had like 8% of their business, but if people start buying, you gotta think about it. It ain't just the Yeezys, right? It ain't just the apparel that he has through Adidas. It's somebody go to a store. Just think about it. It's like what we call being big out or whatever. Somebody go to a store to go buy something, and let's say they don't have it, or the store doesn't have it, or the person can't afford it. You're still in the store. And one of the number one, rules or goals in selling is like, once I can get you into my store, or as an old insurance salesman would tell me, once I can get to your house or get you face to face, I gotta sell. Point blank. Ain't walking out without selling you a policy. Or you ain't walking out without buying a t-shirt, some socks, a hat, a sweater, something. So that's what Kanye brought to Adidas. So instead of just saying, he only bringing like 6%, 8% of the business, it could be up anywhere up to like 20, 25%, maybe even 50% of the business that Adidas can lose because Kanye is gone. Just a little business tidbit for you guys. But yeah, like I was saying, people are upset because, he got this school in Simi Valley, which we all know, hey, circle around the OJ. Not OJ really, but the Rodney King bird. And those policemen, and how they was found not guilty. That's one reason why everybody was cheering on OJ, because of how jacked up the Rodney King verdict was. So, like I said, that part there goes full circle too. But he also had the White Lives Matter shirt at his fashion show in Paris or what have you. Him and Candace Owens wore it. But then they said, like, on the front of the shirt, which nobody saw, was like the picture of a pope or something like that. So there was some kind of meaning to it, but they won't talk about that part. They won't say, nobody asked like what's the correlation between the two. They just only want to talk about the White Lives Matter part of the shirt. And then he went on the whole rant. Then they said he had some kind of fascination with Hitler, which brings me to the point of the problem that we have with Kanye. The problem that we're having with this situation is that we're getting all our information for the most part through the media. Now, Kanye did a few interviews where I think they're like setups. I think they really believe or know that he's bipolar, know he's supposed to be on medication. So I think they put him on TV to hear him ramble and rant and rave, just to prove that he's, mentally incompetent, or to try to show how hateful he is. And again, we're just gonna destroy his whole. We're gonna destroy his whole life. But other than that, everything else is being told by the media, and we know who controls the media, right? He told us years ago. And it's well known, but we know that them people that will say that you're being anti-Semitic for saying that they control the media in the entertainment business. So stuff that's being put out, like now there's a article saying that he has some kind of fascination with Hitler. How do we know that's true? Or how do we, what is it based on? Did he read books by Hitler? Did he understand? Did he, do a little history lesson and found out that maybe Hitler had it was a reason. I don't want to say valid reason because there's really no valid reason to wipe out an entire race of people. Shout out to all the slave drivers in the past who tried to do the same. But yeah, there's no reason to do that. But maybe his reasoning he felt was for a good cause. Because I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Not even gonna try. Because it's a whole lot. Let's just say I read some stuff about Hitler's whole reasoning and purpose for doing what he's doing. He felt it was legit. That's all I'm gonna say about it. If you wanna know more about it, look it up. I think you will be surprised by what is said about why he did what he did. Again, there's no justifying for taking people's lives, because that'll be hypocritical for Black American to say something like that. And we still trying to get reparations for what happened to us. But personally, what do I think? I feel that because Kanye is a Black American, I don't think we should turn our backs on him. I know what we see publicly. Yeah, he married a Kardashian. Oh my gosh. And there's a lot of brothers out there who would just love to be with Kardashians. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Exotic, that mess, the word they try to use in these blogs, these Black blogs, exotic Kardashian, man, she just a dimwitted, whatever, Armenian, whatever. But we don't know what he's done for Black Americans behind the scenes. I mean, think about it. We didn't know what. We just found out that Aretha Franklin, that the FBI was watching her for 40 years. 40 years. Because of her ties with, the civil rights movement, with the Black Panthers, all that kind of stuff. We found out over the years that Harry Belafonte did a whole lot for civil rights in the Black struggle. Hell, even recently we found out that Michael Jordan did stuff for doing stuff for Black people, and people talk bad about Michael Jordan, say he wasn't doing nothing for Black folks, and then they put a rumor out that he was help funding prisons, do stocks and stuff, helping keeping Black folks in prison, man. Yeah, but kind of find out that was a lie. But like I say, you just never know what people do, why they do it, when they do it. And we can talk about, look, man, you got this $1 billion, man, you don't do nothing to fumble the bag. You keep your money up. But then that's kind of hypocritical too, if you want them to help out Black folks. He can't keep his money up if he's working for other people. You see what I'm saying? And we try to get people from working from other people so we can try to work with ourselves and for ourselves. I mean, but from the looks of it, I know that Kanye looks like he hasn't done anything for us, so people get upset. But then on the other end, people say, hey, he's a brother who made it, self-made, billionaire, we need to give that man props. And we do. I mean, because if he made it, however he made it, man, that's what you want to see. You don't want to see what you want to see him in the projects. You want to see him in the gutter, struggling. Nah, I never want to see a brother doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's one less brother who would have to feel that he would have to engage in some criminal activity to make ends meet. See what I'm saying? Who knows? Maybe he is doing stuff for Black people. If he's not, like I would say, we shouldn't turn our back on him because he's one of us. And he hasn't done anything to hurt us. And don't say anything, and don't tell me about no White Lives Matter t-shirt. That's a bunch of bullcorn. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Wear what you want to. You know what I'm saying? As long as he ain't making rap music about brothers killing brothers and brothers disrespecting sisters and selling drugs and this, that, and the third. I don't care what the man say. Yeah, don't say anything about a t-shirt. Don't say anything about his synopsis or his analysis on the George Floyd, on Candace Owens' documentary about George Floyd. Because he said what he saw. And again, like I said, I think these people let him talk, even on Drink Champs. Now, Drink Champs, P. Diddy, Nori, those people I would give a side eye to, because, like I said, I think that them or the powers that be told him, put this man on here, we're gonna do this interview, we're gonna ramble for 3 hours, we're gonna let it stay up for a little while, make a few $1,000, $100,000, and then we're gonna take it off. We're gonna do just enough to show how unstable this dude is and how quote unquote dangerous he is. You feel me? And then everybody come out talking about they apologize for putting it out, should have been a better interview. Dude, it's an interview for alcoholics, drunks, people that get drunk and high. Can't take that serious. I blame Kanye and his people for letting him go on that interview. Won't let that cat do another interview at all. But with that being said, like I said, we got to stay on code with Kanye, I believe. I think we need to be silent on how we feel about him and only really speak words of encouragement, education, try to give them some wisdom. Tell them, hey, Chase Bank kicked you out. There's a lot of black banks out there, real black banks out there that would love to have your money. Adidas kicked you out. Hey, you can do just like what Adidas doing. Go to them same factories. Shoot, they don't care about no anti-Semitism. Go to them same factories. I'm sure you got different ideas for the shoes. You got the Yeezy name. Go to them factories and put out you some more shoes. You see what I'm saying? But what's it that? Balenciaga, they dropped you. Yeah, make your own damn mouthpieces. It's ways that, he can have enough support if he goes independent, because I see a lot of people still got his back, which is good. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's just see where this goes. Because, like I said, the problem we have is we don't stay on code with each other like we should. Take, for instance, Harvey Weinstein and R. Kelly, and I'm gonna close with this. Harvey Weinstein is going through a trial right now for, messing with these actresses, calling them up to his hotel room at 3 o'clock in the morning, and saying they're doing audition at 3 o'clock in the morning in his hotel room. One girl go in there and he had nothing but a bathrobe on. Still walked your butt up in there. Now, people gonna say I'm victim shaming. But no, because y'all remember one of the greatest fierce boxers of all time by the name of Mike Tyson? Kind of went through the same thing, right? Went through the same thing, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. Called this young lady up to his hotel room. She acting like, I don't know what he was gonna do. Okay? Get in there and she claimed that he, took advantage of her. He said it didn't happen like that. She's just mad because he put her out, I guess, and sent a car and didn't, what they call it, she did the walk of shame or whatever, got caught, and she put that story out there. That's what he says. You know what I'm saying? Her story, that it was an actual, sexual assault or whatever. So, but same thing. And back then, people dogged Mike Tyson. Still to this day say, bring up that he was convicted and sentenced to like 9 years over a story that sounded fishy. But Harvey Weinstein's story is going on in the age of social media, internet, where everybody can see everything all day, every day. Not hearing a whole bunch about that story. Because, well, let's just say, if you see the nature of his last name, regardless of what he did, his people are still on code. So that's why I say, and he supposedly did something terrible to a lot of women. Kanye ain't did nothing terrible to anybody. He's controversial by what he say because there are people who don't like what he say. But he hasn't deleted anybody. He hasn't committed the R word to anybody. He hasn't promoted or encouraged people to do criminal acts against anybody. And as long as he hasn't done that, man, I can't turn my back on that, bro. Anyway, tell me what you think. Leave your story, leave your comments below, and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.